Hey guys, what's up? I got another common issue on 06 Explorers to 2010s is the radiator leaks on them. Usually it's down here. Right there, one on each side, you'll see the eyelets. That's where it pulls up and collects in there, and that's how you know it's leaking, whereas otherwise there may not be any other indications. This one you can see is leaking quite a bit from the actual core and coming down all these white stains. It's another way to check. So we're going to go ahead and change it, and I'm going to show you how. Alright, once it's cool, go ahead and pop the top on the radiator here. After it's cool, slowly put that to the side, and then we can start draining it. It's on the driver's side. Collect all that coolant in the drain pan. While you're taking stuff apart, it can drain. There's one 8mm bolt for the power steering reservoir. You can then put that to the side. And there's a bolt here and here. It's 10mm for the reservoir. Pull that. And we'll put that to the side. On the V8 models, we're going to pull the air snorkel here. So we're going to pull these PCV tubes off of here. Twist it out of the way. Same thing over here. There's one right here. Put that out of the way. Pull our snorkel off. Pull the retainer right here. That's in the sides. Holds the AC line on. And we'll just put that to the side then. Something like that. And there's one on this side. On top, same thing. Flip it like that so it's out of your way. It's not attached anymore. And there's a 10mm bolt right here. And same thing on the other side. Take those out. Here. Now on this side and the other side, there's two tangs here that hold the upper shroud to the lower shroud. Pushes in a little bit and pull up. Will come out. And do the same thing on the other side. Upper radiator hose clamp. Slide it back far enough. Just twist. And put that out of the way. I like to pull the upper shroud out and get it out of the way so we can get in here. This is the fan speed connector, the wire harness for it, and here's the connector. So we're going to disconnect it over here, put it to the side, and there's an 8mm bolt right here holding the bracket on. And then you can see that's free now. We can get that out of the way so we can get to that fan nut next. Alright, the fan nut on here is 36mm. You want to pop that off. So we can get the fan out of the way and not damage anything like the fins or the blades on here. On both the housing here, which holds the radiator in from the body, 13mm. One on the other side, same location. There's two 10mm bolts that hold the lower part of the fan shroud on, one on each side. Go ahead and get those out. There's a lower radiator hose retainer on that lower fan shroud. Pull that off and then it'll be free and out of your way. Alright, next we gotta take off is the two trans cooler lines. Pull the retainer off, they just pop off, it's plastic. And then there's a little tool, something like this, that releases them. You just push in and then you take the line, you yank out. Sometimes they will not come out. So what you can do is take this nut off of here, and that's an 1 16", the actual fitting from the radiator, and transfer it all together to the next new radiator. Alright, once you get the line out, go ahead and wrap it up in by the engine there and get it out of the way. Same thing with the other side so you have room here. And next we're going to be pulling off the lower radiator hose. Get the clamp back out of the way, start twisting. Make sure you have a drain pan and make sure you're clear. You think it's empty, but it's definitely not. There's plenty that's coming out of here. So be ready for it. Take it off slowly. May not look like much, but when it's coming down your arm, it is. Fully extend the lower hose down so you can drain that out as much as possible, then tuck it up by the engine. Same as the trans-cooler lines, so it's out of the way. We're not fighting it, we're trying to get that radiator in and out. And now we can pull that fan shroud out from the bottom. Alright, on the passenger side of this radiator core, there's a little retainer here for the two trans lines that are coming up through here. Just pop that out. So you're pulling the core out plus the radiator all as one. It's like a modular system. Now we need to lift up, both sides up, and go back towards the engine. Once you put the radiator back far enough, you pull this top shield off of here, and then you peel back this one, get out of the way, both sides, and then you need to get in there at 10 mil right there. Same thing on the other side, it's a little easier on this side to get to. And then we're going to separate the condenser core from the radiator so we can finally pull this radiator out of here. Alright, so pull back on the condenser so they're separate like that, and then pull up on the condenser, and that'll get it out of the little ears down there on the radiator housing. Same thing on this side, up and away from it. Alright, so once they're separated like that, this one will stay forward and the radiator can go back, take the bottom more towards the engine so they're fully separated. The last thing before you pull that radiator out is these push pins for the air deflector. They go into it. There's 4 of them, and then we should be able to pull the radiator out. Alright, after that shield's off, we're fully loose now. You have to wiggle it past the AC lines. Pull it out of the unit. Now I pull these 10 mil bolts, one on each side, so we can put the sides away, we can pull it out and get the new one in. Alright, so you're going to want to pull the pieces off. The sides that kind of wiggle and slide out, then you get past the grommet here. Put them on each side like I have, and then put your new radiator facing the same direction so you don't get the sides confused. And then your new radiator should have all the retainers and everything you need on it, except for this little air deflector back here. And that just pops off, and these holes line up with the holes here, and that's part of your air deflector we just took off. Pop that back on. And now we can start putting these sides back in here. Make sure you clean off all the old coolant first. See if you have any false new leaks. Alright, so hook both sides back in like so. And then pull them up. And then we're going to go ahead and tighten down the bolts while it's all together like this outside the car. Snug them up. Make sure your deflector's still on. And that's it, ready to put it back in the car. Alright, so once you get that radiator back in to loosely in there and pass all the lines in the ABS pump, concentrate on getting your core back into these little rubber grommets right here. And then your air deflector should still be on there. Put your foam back over it. And then we can raise it up and put it into the ears on the frame. Once the bottom's in, come up top and push the condenser core back towards the radiator, and then we're going to put the two 10mm bolts in, one on each side, that hold it into this this core housing here, and then that'll be all set. Put your air deflector back in on top of that condenser, and that goes into the notch right there. And that's all hung on there and lined up. Now we're going to set the radiator back into its ears, which are right there. See if I can focus on it. These insulated ears that are on the frame here, there's one on each side, and we're going to set it back into there, and then we can bolt it to the body. Alright, it's sitting in those ears now, down below, and on both sides fully. And now we're putting the 13 mils back into the body. One on each side. After that, it's reversal of removal. Alright, when you put the clamp back on, you're going to want to follow the old indents on here if you're reusing the constant tension clamp, or else you can cause a leak since you already got the imprint in there and they've lost some tension over their lifespan of heat cycles. So make sure you follow the old imprints. So once you got it all back together, recheck all your fittings and everything. Make sure that drain cock from the factory is tightened, and then we can start filling it up. And once it's filled to the top, we can then start it and let it bleed out from there and keep monitoring it while it heats up. Also, don't forget to fill and adjust your trans fluid from the new cooler that you've installed.